Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out for you guys on this Monday morning. Today, I had a comment come in yesterday, and it was basically explaining why this individual wanted to shift over and start stacking hardcore on 90% silver, your constitutional silver halves, quarters, dimes, that type of stuff, and the possibility that as the price continues to go higher, some people won't want to pay it. They won't want to pay it, and if the demand really spikes, the possibility that you may not be able to sell 90%, but there is hope. There's hope that you will be able to trade it as more and more people want to get in on that silver, because they're seeing the silver price go higher, and I think we are going to see silver go higher. So that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit today. I think it's a really great topic because it gives people the opportunity, if they can foresee a little bit about what's coming, it gives them the opportunity to really get in front and just ride this train quite a ways and do very well with it. So with that being said, if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me, leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts, let me know what are you stacking. Are you stacking 90%? Are you stacking 999? Are you stacking silver, gold? Let me know in the comments below what you're stacking. And as always, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do the ultimate thing. Take a quick minute, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out more than you know. We're trying to grow this channel, and you guys are a part of that, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you all, and with that being said, let's jump right in and get started. So before we get started today, got to take a look at the silver price right now, and the fact that the backwardation that we've been seeing as of right now is pretty well washed away. We are back almost even, with the spot price right now being 48.11, the futures price being 48.17. So that means the backwardation is essentially gone. Now, with that being said, it is the weekend, so you don't, as you can see on the charts, you kind of don't really see it trading per se, but we are in overnight trading on the actual futures price, on the actual spot price in overseas trading. So, but it does seem like they're getting caught up. At least that's what they want us to believe. And so that's why we've been seeing the silver price come down. People believe as of right now that, oh, they're caught up. But it wasn't too long ago where we were experiencing crazy shorts. And essentially we were seeing shortages at a lot of refineries, a lot of mints, a lot of places saying they couldn't get the silver that they needed. And possibly it is just a small amount of delays. However, I think the future over the next couple weeks is really going to lay the groundwork on what is really coming. And I believe what's coming is higher and higher silver prices. A lot of people have this belief that silver can't stay over 50. You know, I received a comment yesterday, and it basically said, you know, look how long silver sat in the 30s. Then look how long we sat in the 40s. And we're seeing it escalate faster and faster. But on top of that, we are relatively new to $50 silver. It hasn't been 50 for that long. And the fact that it hit 50 and came back down a little bit, it actually got up to 54, doesn't really worry me at all, because I really think the prices are going to go higher in the long run. I think we're going to see evidence of that in the next couple weeks. We have right now the Fed meeting in a couple of days where they're probably going to cut interest rates. We also have a delivery date coming up not too long, like a week away. And I think by the first week of next month, we could see the price slowly start trickling higher. But even if the silver price stays around the $48 range, that's not a scary thing to me. That's an opportunity to me. I actually just picked up a little bit of silver, not a lot, not even enough to really talk too much about it. But the person said, if you want it, you can have it for 48 bucks. And of course, I'm going to jump on that. And, you know, when I talked to him, he said, you know, with silver being as high as it is, he's getting nervous. And he believes that a lot of people are getting nervous and don't really want to pay that $50 silver price. I mean, I know it's 48, but then when you tack on a $2 premium, people don't want to pay it. Now, that is a possibility, and that's kind of where that comment that I got yesterday came from, that as silver price goes higher and higher, people don't want to pay it. So if they don't want to pay 50, when we go to 60 or 70, people may not want to pay that either. However, when your currency, your fiat dollars, are depreciating faster and faster, I think people will want silver. But maybe they won't want to part with their money. I have one friend, he likes silver, but he don't want to spend these high prices on it. And he wasn't buying it before. So now he's kind of stuck in the middle. Do I trade him coins once in a while? I do trade him coins once in a while, in the form of maybe a silver dime, a silver half, something like that. And I trade it for something that I want. And that's kind of what this comment was talking about. And if you've been following the channel for a while, about 2 years ago, I was up in Maine. And whenever I'm up anywhere away from home, I always have silver on me. It's just a rule. Always have a Morgan, always have something on you when you're traveling, because you never really know when you might need something like that. And I ended up going into a pizza and sandwich shop in Maine, and I went in and I was looking through the penny, take a penny, give a penny tray, little thing of pennies, and I'm just glancing in there for wheat pennies. And she tells me, she's like, "Oh, you're not going to find any wheat pennies." And I said, "Oh, really? Do you save them?" She said, "Yeah, I've been saving them since I was a little kid. My dad got me into it, and now owning a store, I make it a point to always look through the till for any of that type of stuff." And I said, "Oh, that's cool. Do you find stuff?" She said, I used to find a lot of stuff. I don't find stuff quite as often, but I still look, because even if you just find one thing, it's worth it." And I said, "Can you spot a silver quarter really quick?" She goes, "Oh, yeah, I can tell the way it sounds when it hits. I can tell the feel of it and the look of it." And I said, "Oh, it's interesting." And then as we got talking, I ended up saying, "Hey, hold on a minute." I walked out to my car and I got something out of my car. And I brought it in and I offered her, "Hey, would you be interested in trading this for $100 voucher for food here?" And she said, "Oh, wow, absolutely." Now, here's the thing. From a coin collector standpoint, they love cool-looking coins. Now, this lady I know would have known right off. If it was a silver quarter, she would have known the difference. A silver Washington versus a regular Washington. She would know the difference. But like I always tell people, if you're buying junk silver, try to target the stuff that doesn't really look like what people see every day. I mean, the reason we changed our 1964 quarters to the clad was not just the way we changed it. We changed it because the silver was going up in value too fast, and they wanted the silver for themselves. But we changed it in a way that the average person would not notice the difference. So a 64 and a 65 still, to some people, get mistaked as, "Oh, this 65 quarter's worth something," because they don't understand it's not age, it's material. It's what it's made out of. And so if you have the opportunity, pick up stuff that doesn't look like what we use every day. For example, a Washington 64 quarter versus maybe a Standing Liberty quarter, or maybe a Roosevelt dime versus a Mercury dime. If you pick up the Mercury dime, there's a better chance you're going to get it someone that wants it from either a collectible standpoint or B, a silver standpoint. And once you realize that, that means you have a lot of opportunity. And the opportunity is everything. Now, I know some people may not want to pay physical cash for silver, especially if you find like a Morgan dollar and someone's like, "Oh, I want $40 for it." There may be some people out there that don't want to pay $40 for it. But if you're willing to trade them goods or services for that Morgan dollar, there's a good chance you're going to get a whole lot more than $40. I have traded many Morgan dollars for $50 worth of something that I wanted. And even today, that's still a good deal for everybody, really. But this was back when silver was a whole lot cheaper. Today, you could probably easily trade $60 or $65 in trade, because the thing you have to understand is I go into a store and I get, let's just say, $60 worth of pizza from somebody. Well, I know people would be like, the people that don't really understand all this are going to have the attitude, why would anybody give you $60 for a Morgan dollar when they can probably get a Morgan dollar a little bit cheaper somewhere else? Well, there's a couple different reasons for that. The first one being they may not know where to look. As a coin collector, as a silver stacker, you understand the ropes. You're more diverse. You may not know how to make a pizza, but you definitely know how to find good deals on silver. And that's the same situation the other party will be in. The other party might know how to make a really good pizza or some really good sandwiches or whatever the case may be, and they don't know how to find a good deal on silver. So you're offering them something that they don't see every day. And on the second note of that, their cost for that pizza is not $60. Understanding that if they're selling it, they're making a profit if they're selling on a regular basis, or they wouldn't be open. They wouldn't be in business. So their cost is not $60. So you're basically trading an item for an item, which means you kind of get more for your money, more for your silver. Now, if you want to pay them in silver, then obviously you're not going to maybe get as much, you could say. You're just going to end up paying it in cash. I had someone over the weekend, I guess I could say weekend. It happened on Friday. I might have told the story briefly, but I traded someone a beautiful ounce of silver for a couch, a nice looking, fairly good shape, really good shape couch. And I said, I want it. I already have a couch, but I'm moving to a bigger house. And I said, you know what? I'd rather have that second couch. I don't like the dogs on my personal couch where I might take a nap on my couch. But this will give them an opportunity. I may end up putting it off to the side and let them use that couch. But what I'm saying with this is having that ounce of silver, it was funny because the guy even told me, the guy's like, well, I figured you'd rather give me an ounce of silver than the $50. I said, nah, if you want $50, I'll give you $50 right now for it. I said, I'll have no question in my mind about that because I believe the silver is going to be a whole lot higher. And I know, $50 for a couch, $48 for an ounce of silver. Good luck finding silver for $48, though. A lot of the silver deals now are drying up. I don't know how many of you guys have been going to your coin shop. Yeah, they've been picking up some great deals. But the people that are selling are less and less and less now. So we're seeing these silver dry up in our local areas. Now, you might be in an area that, there's still a lot of silver for sale. Maybe there's some big stacker that he's been brainwashed that $50 is going to be the all-time high, and now we're going back down. Just like when we hit $43, then we went back down to $39, there was people that sold. And I'm sure they regret that now, selling at $39, seeing it go all the way up to $54. And there are people right now that bought at $54 and they're seeing it come down to $48, and now they're wondering, did they get burned? Did they miss the boat? Did they buy in at the top? Personally, I think we have a lot more room to run, but this is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinions on the channel. And I think when people realize the direction that silver could end up going, they realize that they want physical silver. And here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. When stuff really does start breaking down, are we there yet? No. Every currency in history eventually will and has gone to zero in value because they mass produce it, they overprint it, they water it down, whatever the case may be. And when that happens, at a certain point, people would rather trade tangible asset for tangible asset and bypass the dollar altogether, or whatever the currency is. We've seen this happen in Venezuela. We've seen it happen in Zimbabwe. We've seen it happen time and time again. And once you realize that, you understand that, hey, maybe having extra silver to be able to use for trade is not a bad deal. Now, I've talked time and time about this and the importance of even 90% junk silver. But here's the thing. Right now, you have an opportunity, unlike we've seen in quite some time. What opportunity is that? The price that they are selling this 90% silver for right now is so cheap and inexpensive. It's almost like silver's not even at $48. I still see Mercury dimes and Roosevelt dimes selling for $3 a piece. I still see silver quarters selling 3 for 20. This tells you there is opportunity out there to pick this stuff up and squirrel it away. And it's almost like you're picking it up at a cheaper price, like the price hadn't even spiked yet, because in a way you are. Because the demand for that stuff is so low, and now that refineries won't touch it, well, now you have opportunities to pick that stuff up cheap. And that's why I've kind of been trying to pick up as much of that stuff as I can. I showed you guys my dime collection at one point in a short video a while back. I'd like to get a nice big quarter collection going now. I've been working a little bit at it lately, but it's slow going, especially with the prices as high as they are and with more people hoarding their silver, because they understand where it's going. They understand this is an investment. I shouldn't even use the word hoarding, really. Someone might have already cringed when I used that word. But people that recognize it, they're holding their silver. And hoarding, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. I mean, some people hoard dollars. Some people hoard pesos. Some people hoard a lot of different things. Stocks, crypto coins. It just means accumulating. And as for me, I mean, I think silver has a long ways to run, and it will continue to go higher. And if you're wise, you'll be picking up the stuff. But it's not just silver. I mean, also gold. You take a look at the gold price right now. Right now, gold is sitting at $4,077. When you look at the futures price, we're at $4,086. So we have about a $10 spread there, whereas with silver, we're pretty much right on par with each other, which, like I said, it's good. I'd rather see this backwardation situation go away. I'd rather see the premiums come down some. Look what's happening. We're seeing the premiums continue to rise higher and higher. And a lot of that is because companies don't want to give their silver away for under $50. So they're willing to just charge more on the premium side. And I would rather buy silver at a higher spot price with no premium than I would at a lower spot price with a high premium. Why? I know some people will wonder, well, what difference does it make? Either way, you're still paying a high price. If silver is sitting, let's say, at $45 and people are adding a $5 premium on it, selling it for $50 an ounce, and then you have a situation where silver is $48 and there's a $2 premium and they're selling it for $58. They're selling it for $50. You might think it's the same thing. It's still $50, but it's not exactly, because the premiums, not everybody's going to pay you a premium. Therefore, most people, I believe, will pay spot price. I think spot price is an easy amount to get for your silver. I wish I could find more people selling silver at spot price, but the people that are selling it for that are slowly dwindling as the price continues to go higher. Taking a quick look at Bitcoin right now. We got Bitcoin trading at 115,000. Doing a nice job popping back up. We were all the way down to 104,000. We're a good ways off of the dip, and we're still a good ways below the high. So we'll see which direction this starts filtering in as time goes on. Ultimately, I think stuff is changing. People are starting to realize the economy's in trouble. It looks like they're going to probably cut interest rates again next week. Do I hope they do? I mean, I got mixed feelings on it. I really do. I think the economy is slowing down, and as the economy slows, people are going to be less apt to want to spend with high interest rates on their credit cards. But we'll see how that plays out. On the flip side, where I am going to be selling another one of my properties, I kind of would rather see interest rates dip. I know that doesn't jive with my normal thought process, but lower interest rates means people can afford to pay more for a home because the interest rates are down. And so we'll see how that plays out. It'll be good to see. Um, Moving on real quick, taking a quick look at the national debt. National debt sitting right now at 38 trillion and 36 billion and a half billion. New secret windows. They keep adding these secret windows. The great unwind, wealth transfer of the ages. And I think there is slowly a lot of unwinding as we're seeing more and more people get rid of their cash and shift their cash into precious metals like gold and silver. And that's why we're seeing the gold and silver value really continue to climb higher and higher. We're seeing gold a little off of its all-time high, but that's okay. We're seeing silver a little off from its all-time high, but that's still okay too. That is a sale. Think about when a grocery store sells a sale on whatever the product is that you like. It gives you an opportunity to stock up your fridge. Maybe you like beer and they're running a sale on the beer. And it gives you an opportunity to kind of fill your garage refrigerator or whatever the case may be. Maybe they're running a sale on steaks. It gives you an opportunity to buy some extra ones, put them in the freezer. And I think as we see this happening, this sale on precious metals, more and more people are stocking up. However, it's not going to be all at once that it just all of a sudden spikes. I think we will gradually see it start rolling back up again the first week of next month. Taking a quick look at the DXY real quick, we have the DXY sitting at 98.91 right now. Just a couple days ahead of the Fed meeting. I would expect to see this go even higher, and with the higher price, that could push down gold and silver prices. Is it going to be devastating if the gold and silver price plunges? Not at all. I won't complain one bit if we see that. However, be prepared for the spike that could be coming once this dip fizzles out. That's really what I want to see. I want to see, and I hope it stays off for a little while as I may be trying to put some money together to end up picking up the new Legendary Warrior, which I've talked about in the past, but we'll see how that plays out as time goes on. So taking a quick look here. Let me just take a look how long we've been talking. Today I expect it to be a kind of a short video, but I kind of want people to understand that junk silver or 90% constitutional silver, there's a huge opportunity right now in that, in my opinion. Same with sterling silver jewelry. If you can find any of this stuff, try to pick some of it up if you have opportunities. In some cases, people are picking up generic silver, or I should say sterling silver, 925 jewelry and stuff, and they're picking it up for like $1 a gram. Now, if you can pick this stuff up for $1 a gram, some rings, some necklaces, some little trinkets, there's opportunity there, in my opinion. And if anything, you know, they make great gifts. I think people are going to come back around eventually. I was actually talking to someone today, and, you know, because I am trying to move, I'm trying to get rid of a lot of stuff. And someone told me, well, you could just get rid of it, donate it all. Just get rid of it and be done with it. The problem with that is the direction that I think the economy and everything is going down a time period where things are going to get hard. And if things get hard, people will appreciate little things. Could be something as little as some cooking utensils, some pots, some pans, leftover stuff. So I'm not really quick to want to just junk stuff necessarily. I have extra of a lot of kitchen stuff because I love to cook. I used to do a lot of cooking videos. If you scroll back far enough or you go look in my playlists, you'll see a lot of the cooking videos that I've done in the past. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Well, there's a cooking one, but I'm looking for... Oh yeah, meals at home like this. Let's see here. View the whole playlist for a quick minute. Let's take a look. So I did some crab boil here. I did some menudo here. How to do oven baked fish. shrimp Alfredo, a lot of different stuff. So I have a lot of different utensils for cooking that, just comes in handy. Oh, did I just accidentally hit that? Yeah, I did. Back out, back out. I don't want that to start playing on me. Um, I think people need to be mindful of the direction that the country is going, the direction the economy is going. And like I said, you'll have opportunities, I believe, to pick stuff up really cheap in the future if you have the means to get it. And what I mean by the means is if you're already in debt up the wazoo on credit, that may be a little difficult. You'll be trying to stretch to make ends meet. You may be one of those people that is selling off stuff just to pay the minimum on your credit card. If you're not getting prepared when times are good, when winter comes, and I don't mean it literally winter, but think about nature. Think about the way the world is. Nature, when times are good in the summer, it's a great time period, plentiful. As fall starts coming, animals start seeing what's happening and they start squirreling away nuts for the winter. And I really think that people that follow this channel, hopefully most of them are squirreling away, whether it be canned goods, whether it be silver, whether it be whatever. Hopefully you're preparing for what could be coming down the line. A day could come where you just can't get stuff. And if you didn't squirrel away for a winter, you're going to have a hard time. And by winter, I mean a slowing of the economy. The opportunity is get ahead while you can, because eventually the opportunity may not be there. And some people are already just too far buried in debt because they've been using their credit cards to get by, and they're so far in the hole on credit, there's absolutely almost no way out. What they would have to do to get out is just too hard for some of these people to do. They're not willing to sit at home. They're not willing to eat at home, cook at home, pack a lunch, and really crack down. And then a lot of them want to listen to some of these, I hate to say, crazy financial advisors. I was listening to Ramsey. I can't remember his first name. Is it Dave Ramsey, I think. And he was actually telling people that they need to focus on the smallest cards first. So even if you have a credit card that has $10,000 on it and you're paying, 20% interest, if you have another one that has 0% and you only owe $1,000 on it, you're better off to pay that $1,000 off. And I literally was yelling at the radio. I was getting carried away a little bit, because that to me is the worst advice. If you're going to pay $1,000 on something, I'm certainly not going to pay it on a 0% credit card. In fact, I'm going to try to max that thing out and move some of that higher interest debt over to that 0%. And that way I can hold it there at 0% for a while I dig myself out. But that's a angle strategy. You have to work different stuff at the same time. You pay down your higher price cards, you try to move that higher price debt over to a lower interest credit card. And what a lot of people do is once they start freeing up some money, they almost always cave and want to go start spending again. Now, I'll be honest, even I have done that, especially with the silver price dip lately. I ended up going back, and on my 0% card, I said, you know what, I'm going to top it off and I'm going to buy a little bit more silver. Why? Because the price is low right now. But we'll see how that's going to play out in the long run. Obviously, if you have 0%, it's only 0% until the deadline. Once the deadline comes, that's when they really give it to you hard, and you have to be in a position where you have it paid down for that. I know some people are totally against buying silver on credit. It's benefited me because I bought a bunch at $32 on credit, and the credit is 0% interest for a year. I still got like 8 months to pay it off, 7 months to pay it off, and so I'm kind of happy with my choices. But I know some people, they keep putting it off, and they forget all about it, and then when that day comes, it just sinks them hard. So With that being said, gonna wrap the video up here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, what is this? Oh, it opened up and stayed open. If you did enjoy today's video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on anything I said. And hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching. Hope you all have a great week. It is only Monday, so we got a big week in front of us. Fed rate cuts coming, and it's going to get interesting to see what happens. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Share the video with your friends, and hopefully they're making the right financial choices for their future. So not financial advice here, but something for you to think about. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Bye-bye.